Okay, so we're going to learn how to do a proper diaphragm release and practice our diaphragmatic breathing. Really important to note that with this exercise, the breath that you're utilizing is for strength, okay? So this is different than the general breath that you're taking every single day, hundreds and thousands of times a day, right? Very different from this breath. What this diaphragmatic breath is meant to do is it's meant to strengthen your IAP, your intra-abdominal pressure. And what that does is, like we've talked about in our past diaphragmatic breathing video, is that helps keep your lower spine, your lumbar spine, everything stabilized so that you can live and function while protecting your spine and also without back pain. So this is one of the most important exercises, and it's something that I highly recommend doing every single day and incorporating into your daily routine. I do, and every time I do, every day, I feel instantly better afterwards. And that's without all the other exercises that help. So let's learn how to diaphragmatic breathe, okay? First, what we're going to do is we're going to start with a diaphragm release, okay? So with a diaphragm release, I'm going to coach you through it. What we're going to do, okay, is we want to get our fingers right underneath our rib cage. So if you've got your rib cage here, okay, your ribs, see where my ribs end here? That's where I'm going to slide my fingers under, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to take a breath in, a really deep breath in, let it all the way out nice and easy, and at the end of that breath, I want you to give me one really hard cough, okay? And you should feel that cough in your stomach, alrighty? And with this cough, I do not want you to breathe in before you cough. I want you to use that breath that you're pushing out to do so, okay? So I'm going to demonstrate for you. You're going to take a nice big deep breath in. Easy breath out. I slide my fingers under my rib cage, and at the end, I give one really hard cough. And what I'm doing with my fingers is just sliding right over the edge of the ribs, okay? So we're gonna do that again, starting all the way at the top where your ribs are almost touching, close together, right? And then going all the way down as far as you can go. So again, deep breath in, breath out, slide them under, and cough. And I'm breathing as far out as I can and slowly crawling my fingers all the way down my ribs. Okay? You want to do that release, that flick, about 5 or 6 times, okay? And after you do that flick, what we're going to do is we're going to practice our IAP breath. So let me explain this to you first, okay? It is a little complicated, but we're going to run through it together. So you're going to breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth. Both directions, making sure that your breath is as long as possible. I would like you to give me a slight pause at the beginning of the breath and at the end of the breath, okay? So at the top of the breath and at the bottom of the breath, you're giving me a slight pause. I want you to imagine that you have an Altoid in your mouth, okay? And if you need to use an Altoid, you can. Just please be careful that you don't choke on it, okay? So you're going to imagine that that Altoid is between your tongue and the roof of the mouth, okay? So as if I were going to make like a little clucking sound, okay? So we breathe in through our nose as far as we can. We breathe out through our mouth with our tongue on the roof the entire time. On this breath out, I want you to do a couple of things. I want you to make sure that, one, we want to make this sound like an air pressure, okay? So as if you were filling up the air in your tires, I want that sound to be coming out of your mouth as you're breathing out. And the reason for that is because it's going to help strengthen these intrinsic core muscles, okay? So to do that, that tongue's on the roof, okay, right behind the front teeth. Your air goes to the sides of the tongue and to the bottom of the tongue, but not above the tongue. All right, you're imagining that Altoid between the tongue and the roof of the mouth. And I want you to now imagine that you have a straw in between your lips, okay? So on the breath out, it's gonna sound like this. okay? And again, making that as long as possible, and I want that pressure to be slow and controlled. Over time, you're going to lengthen the amount of time that you're breathing out for and increase the pressure by decreasing the amount of air that's coming out at a time, okay? So that will happen over the next couple of weeks. Now, where does the air need to go? That's really important here, okay? So when we breathe in through our nose, the first place that I want our air to go is going to be in our low belly. Thinking about pushing your air into your pelvic floor, okay, as far down as you can. Now, the first place that air is going to go is between the pelvic floor and your xiphoid process, which is that pointy thing, that pointy bone right in between the top of your ribs, okay? So, we're first going to expand up, okay, the best that we can, okay, really pushing that air down into our pelvic floor as if we're a trash compactor, filling up like a balloon in 360 degrees. We're then going to start to think about filling laterally on the sides where your ribs are, okay? So what we want, or let's say what we want to prevent, is from that air coming up here into the chest. So when we breathe in through the nose, what we're actually going to see happen is we're going to see a little bit of lever here, okay, in the sternum. We do not want to see this, okay? This is okay. Notice how the top isn't moving up and down, but this bottom is, okay? So we need to put it all together. So I've got this nifty ball here. At home, you can use a ball, you can use a chair, you can use a couch, whatever you have available to you, maybe a tall stool. And what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you put your heels on the ball. I do not want your feet just resting on it, okay? I don't want to see this. I want to see just the heels. Our toes are going to be pulled towards our face, okay? Notice that they're not pointed. And we've got 90 degrees at the hips and 90 degrees at the knees. Over time, we can play with this. So, you do your diaphragm release, okay? We'll do that again. You won't hurt yourself here, okay? Really want you to notice areas that might be tighter than others as you come all the way down, okay? Heels are on the ball. You're going to put a slight amount of pressure into the heels, okay? And we're going to slowly breathe in through the nose, pushing right into that pelvic floor. Expanding up. And on the sides. Slide hold. Tongue on the roof. And at the end, I'm compressing all of that air down, okay? And I'm feeling all these little belly muscles contract, almost as if you're wearing a corset and everything is tightening up, okay? After that first breath out, really important that you immediately start to breathe in again right into that lower belly and that pelvic floor. So we're going to do a couple now. I already did my release. So we're going to do a couple more breaths. Try to make sure that your neck is long, your chin is tucked towards the floor. We're not here, we're here. And we're not here or here, we're here. As if someone is just pushing your chin down into the ground. Upper body is relaxed, keeping that chest nice and relaxed. And we'll go again. Deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Nice job, you guys. I always roll to my side and stand here, okay? So, This exercise is going to be incredibly helpful. Please don't worry or freak out if you hear some snaps, some cracking, some pops. You might get a little spasm through the body here and there. That's okay. It's just your body finding homeostasis and finding a neutral spot, okay? You might be helping to decompress the spine in ways that you haven't done before or in a while. So I want you to make sure that you're utilizing this every day. It's an incredibly beneficial exercise, if not the most important exercise for you to be practicing.